Hey guys, welcome to our final video, part 5, all about decluttering your financial life. If you're new to this channel and you haven't been following along with this journey, go back and watch video 1. I went through a period of 4 different weeks. It's actually taken probably like 5 or 6 weeks to decluttering my life, and this is our final one, wrapping it all up with decluttering your financial life, which is like my favorite thing to talk about. Okay, I don't know about you, but I have been so sick and almost frustrated with myself for buying so much crap. So all this process of decluttering has really got me looking at how much money I have wasted on junk. Did you feel the same way? I'm looking around my house and I was like, what the hell? Why did I buy so much crap? It didn't bring me any joy, and now I'm literally getting rid of or donating thousands of dollars worth of stuff. It sucks, it's frustrating, and maybe you felt the same way. Maybe. Tell me I'm not alone. Regardless of where you start, let's go through and help you declutter your financial life today. Okay, the biggest and quickest one you can do immediately is to actually get rid of subscriptions that you no longer use. You know, that Birchbox subscription that you haven't really cared about for years, or maybe it's a subscription for Adobe Photoshop. I had a couple of those actually. I didn't realize I was paying for 2 different memberships, which is kind of lame. But decluttering subscriptions that you no longer use or no longer serve you is a great place to start. There's plenty of apps that do that for you as well, and I will link a video to where I talked about that stuff in the comments box below. Okay, the second thing you can do to get a quick win and immediately start to declutter your financial life is to automate all of your bill pay. Every single bill that comes through your credit card or your debit card should automatically be paid on the correct due date. What that's going to do is that's going to do 2 things for you. First, it's going to alleviate all that stress of wondering, did I actually pay that bill? I can't remember. And then the second thing it's going to do is it's going to make sure you're not paying any late fees or any hits on your credit report. It'll make sure that everything is paid on time and in full. And that's exactly what we want when it comes to our financial life. You've got a ton of things to worry about. The last thing you need to worry about is, did I pay that bill? Make sense? Which leads me into the next tip for decluttering your financial life, to automate all of your savings goals. So I personally am always saving for a new car, a vacation, because you never know when a good deal is going to come up, and just experiences. So I have different savings accounts set up, and every month automatically my money will get transferred into those different savings accounts. It's really cool, and once you look at it, it's amazing how quickly things add up. So if you have trouble savings in a normal basis and you live within the United States, the app that I personally recommend is called Capital, Qapital. It's a really good one, and it helps you automate your savings very quickly and easily. In addition to that, as you're thinking through all of the different savings accounts that you need and which ones you actually need to have savings accounts for, so sometimes you can group your savings together, sometimes you want it to be separated depending on the goal. Also think through experiences. So I mentioned vacation. That's an experience to me, but I also am not really a concert person. I don't really go to those quite often. I do occasionally go out to eat with my friends or like buy coffee, so I do appreciate those kinds of experiences as well, but you may not. So if you have a general catch-all experiences savings account, that can kind of help you. So if a concert deal comes up and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm dying to go see Kenny Chesney in concert. Do you listen to, I mean, maybe, who knows? But if that's the case, then you've got a savings account ready to go, already earmarked for experiences. So it's a really cool way to go, so you don't feel guilty when things come up. You already have that money for it. If you are trying to simplify your financial life, think about it from the perspective of your home. The fewer items that you have, the better. Well, the same thing is true for your financial life. The fewer line items you have, the fewer expenses on a normal basis that you have, the easier it is to track, to wrap your mind around what's actually going on, and the quicker you can start to see progress of where you could allocate money towards an experience goal, or maybe your car fund, or whatever the heck it might be. So to do that, a lot of times you've got to clean up debt. Debt is one of those things that we almost all experience. If you don't have debt, props to you. That's amazing. Keep up that progress. That's really, truly incredible. But for most people, we do have some type of a debt. So if that's you, and if you're facing some sort of debt, maybe it's student loans, credit cards, a car loan, a personal loan, a gambling loan. I hope you don't gamble, but maybe you do. Who knows? Regardless, whatever that debt is, if you quickly pay it off, it's going to free up your cash flow, giving you more cash on a normal basis, so you feel like you have more money, And it's also saving you thousands of dollars on interest. Interest can be crazy expensive. If you need help with paying off debt, I've got a couple videos linked below that will talk about exactly how to do that, which approaches I personally like, and how you can get there a little bit more quickly. But pay off debt, that'll free up some of those line items so that your financial life is super, super simple. Next tip, clean up your credit report. This is something that doesn't necessarily mean a lot in the short run unless you're trying to buy a home or finance a car, which I don't recommend. But if that's your situation, cleaning up your credit report is a really great idea. So pull your credit report for free at annualcreditreport.com. You get the entire detail. This is not your credit score, but you get all of the detail of your credit report. And it's really useful because that's where you can start to see what bills have been maybe charged off that you didn't know had been charged to your credit report, so that you can start to get rid of those one at a time. Sometimes you can settle your debts if it's been a long time and you're like, oh my gosh, this has been on there for 7 years. It's likely that the company thinks that they're probably not going to collect the money, which means you can settle sometimes for pennies on the dollar. Definitely worth it, but you've got to pull your credit report to see what's on there first. If you are looking for your score, I'm a big fan of Credit Karma, creditkarma.com. It's a free service. How they make money is recommending other credit cards, so they do a little bit of affiliate marketing there. So just be careful of that, but it'll give you your credit score and your credit report, which is pretty cool too. And my last tip to simplifying and decluttering your financial life is to get rid of those stupid paper bills. Nobody has time for those. I don't know, maybe you do, I'm not sure. But seriously, they're really, really annoying. So they take up clutter in your home. So it's actually going back and ruining all that progress that we did before. It's kind of decluttering that. So we don't want that. So you can go through, and each of your individual bills, you can opt for e-statements, which means you'll get an email with the statement in there. Now remember, all of your bills at this point will be automatically paid, but it's still good to review your statements to make sure that everything on there is okay, and that all of your payments have officially gone through, that the company is looking at those as paid statements and they're actually not double charging you. Sometimes that can happen. So just make sure that you are still looking through those, but get rid of the paper bills. Nobody needs those. It just takes up time, energy, and it has a really, it has a bad effect on the environment too. So if you're into the environmental area, then get rid of them. It's 2018. We don't need paper statements anymore. We just don't. All right, guys, that concludes the entire 5-part journey to minimalism. I hope you've enjoyed this series as much as I did. It wasn't always fun. There was a lot of crap and a lot of facing my stupidity head on that I had to go throughout this process, but it was totally worth it. My house has been much more clean. It's been more distraction free, and ultimately it has been more minimalist, which is exactly what I was going for. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It means the world to me. I put out new videos usually about 2 times a month, but it just depends. Sometimes I do little bonus ones every week. But I would love to have you join my online community. If you haven't followed me on Instagram, I hang out there quite a bit too. So you can follow me at Whitney_Hansen_co. I will see you on Instagram and on this channel. Thank you so much for joining in. And remember, if you want abnormal results, you have to do abnormal things. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye! I know what you're thinking. New hair, who dis? I got my hair did. I went a little bit darker. What do you think? I was a little unsure about it at first, but it's kind of growing on me. Patrick's over there sleeping. Per usual.